Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Here's your brother in the struggle coming right back at you. Again, ladies and gentlemen, what I talk about here are realities. Now, the human mind is not used to reality because we are still, the reality is that we are still slave to the lie and to sin. Hence we die. You understand? That's a fact, Jack. We die. We are slave to sin. Okay? No one that has ever lived can say that they never sinned, that they never corrupted themselves. Because if that was the case, they would have never been on earth. But anyway, what I'm about to tell you is this, ladies and gentlemen. Throughout history, there have been so many moves of deceit. You had the Babylon system move back with Nimrod and his mother wife, Semiramis, based upon lies. God's people has always been lost. We have always followed the wrong route, the wrong way, because it is more entertaining. You know, it is more fulfilling to the flesh. You understand? So, in the deceit, in the many movements of deceit that have existed throughout human history, well, we have the latest ones, and they're both the same, and they are both financed by the same man, George Soros. Black Lives Matter. Antifa. Ladies and gentlemen, please understand one thing. They all have catching words, though, right? Antifa. But then look what they do. Black Lives Matter. What a joke. And the ironic thing is, ladies and gentlemen, Black Lives Matter, but then most of the people if you look at a particular crowd, are white. Doesn't that tell you something? In fact, 13% of the people in the United States are blacks. There's 13%. You understand? So when you got all this white rallying around this Black Lives Movement, shouldn't that be a wake-up call? Now, I don't have nothing against white people. In fact, my best friend was white as I was growing up in junior high. But we must accept the reality as they are, not as we would like for them to be. The fact of the matter is that the white race are the real descendants of Esau. Okay? They are Edomites. Do I hate them? Of course not. Is the white man the devil and the white woman the devil? No. They're not responsible for their ancestors' mistakes. I will not hold that up against them. I will not hold that up against them. No way. I love my white people. I love my black people, my brown people, my Chinese people, my Asian people. I don't care. We are humans. We are just one race. And that's why all lives matter to me. But let me give you some, sometimes I be reflecting. And as the Apostle Paul says, I could be the richest man in this world. What is that to me? if I don't have a relationship with my Creator. I could be the wisest man on this earth, as was King Solomon, King David's son, who became a prince over Israel. He was the richest man that ever lived back then, and he was the wisest man that ever lived. Was he fulfilled? No. He went against God. What if I was to live forever? What if I had the power to say, hey, I would like to live forever? It won't mean a thing unless I have a relationship with the one that created life. What if I was to die, as we all are destined to do? It would have been a thing because I don't have any control over it. Because my Creator is the one in charge. He is the one in charge. So having everything in this life, ladies and gentlemen, means having nothing. And when people get money and power, by nature, they go against their own kind. Let me give you an example. Going to Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter got $1 billion in donations. What have they done for the black community? If Black Lives Matter, okay, their mind have been twisted under the movement of deceit. If Christ, if Yahushua would have been loved, would have been appreciated the way Black Lives Matter is, do you think that he would have been killed? Heck no. But you know why Black Lives Matter has been embraced? Because it's all about setting up God's people for the slaughter. As I have said so many times. Now, why do I keep on repeating myself? Because what I am saying to you, ladies and gentlemen, is not some it's not coming from a tin foil hat, nut job, crazy conspiracy guy coming at you from his praying room. No. If that's the case, then prove to me otherwise. So we have two movements going at the same, two movements of deceit, working the human mind at the same time, exploiting their emotions. I used to be a door-to-door salesman many years ago, as I was growing up in New York. And let me just tell you, the only thing that you have to do to deceive the mind is to get people distracted, emotionally distracted. And the death of George Floyd accomplished that and then some. You exploit people's emotions, and the devil have come home to roost. And they going around robbing, killing people, because they know the cops ain't gonna do nothing. Heck, they burned down a whole, so they've been emboldened. The criminal mind has been emboldened with the Black Lives Matter movement support, and the fact that a whole police department was burned down in Minneapolis. Ladies and gentlemen, now why has this happened? Because through a human history, okay, God hasn't been appreciated. So when God is not appreciated, you go all the way in. And craziness. While you exploit people's emotions. Because once you exploit people's emotions, you got them. What do you think religions have been doing? I know this because I have studied, I have been taught, I have been baptized by some religion. I am what you call, in fact, I become a religionist. If there's such a word. Well, I just came up with it. I became a religionist. Which means I've been part of different religions, and I know the psychology, and I know where this religion comes from, just like the Bible says. They're all coming back to Mama, which is the Roman Catholic Church. That is a fact. And the Roman Catholic Church has always been run by the Jesuits. And who are the Jesuits? They are Freemasons, ladies and gentlemen, within the Catholic Church. Because you got to understand that the Roman Catholic Church came out of a government, out of a political system. For a political gain, it came out of a political system for political ends. Once you exploit people's emotion, you got them. I mean, we know the trick of the trades. Okay? In television, even the colors that they use, the songs that they play while you watching a commercial, it's the music that they play on movies that you'll be watching is all part of psychology, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? So those questions are there, like I said. What if I was the richest man on this planet? Much powerful and richer than Bezos and Bill Gates and George Soros and the Rothschild people combined. What if I was to control? Well, guess what? It would have been nothing unless I have a relationship with my Creator. What if I was to live forever? What does that mean? I'd be suffering forever unless I have a relationship with the one that created this life, which I want to be part of forever. What if I was to die? Do I have any control over death? Yeah, I may delay it. I may delay the process by living according to the laws of nature in the food that I eat, which is in the Bible. Because the Bible is nothing less and nothing more than a spiritual instruction book for us to live our lives while our Creator sends His sons back and to bring order into this planet. Now, why is He letting things go the way they are? Because we are going by His clock. Okay, because some people may say, oh, there is no God, because where is He? Why doesn't He come yet? He's not going by your clock. And there are certain things that must happen. And this way He's giving more time to God's people to wake the hell up. But where are they? They're protesting and robbing and killing each other out there. Yes, you, the Native Americans, the Hispanics, and the blacks, the Negroes. Yes, that's what you do. Don't believe me? Look at Chicago. You are all up in there and you are killing each other. Aren't you? Or you don't want to see the reality. Okay? So that is the reflections that I have here for you today. So we have two movements going simultaneously today. Moving on. You got the Black Lives Matter movement. Then you have the pandemic. This pandemic, which is called a pandemic, but it's actually a pandemic because it was planned. It was talked about. See, the thing is, the human mind have been used to so many lies throughout history. They don't know what to believe, so they'd rather not believe anything. They'd rather live on a neutral mindset. No, there are two paths in this life. You either with the demons, with the devil, or you are with God. And that's where your challenge and your decision are. There's no two ways about it. You cannot be in the middle. You cannot be lukewarm, because God would spew you out of his mouth. He will vomit you out. All right, so let us hit the book. Let us go, and then we'll be closing. So let us go to 2 Thessalonians. So we got 2 Thessalonians, second Thessalonians, chapter 2. Second Thessalonians, ladies and gentlemen, almost all the way at the end of the Bible, verse 11. And for this cause God shall send them a strong delusion, that they should believe a lie. Verse 12. That they all might be damned who believe not the truth, but have pleasure in unrighteousness. Yeah, people have taken pleasure in unrighteousness. When you disobey God's commandments, when the devil sees God's people disobeying God's commandments, what do the leaders of this world do? They encourage that and they support them. Now you understand why the Black Lives movement is being supported almost worldwide by baseball, the NFL, hockey. You understand? Okay? De Blasio, that sick man, that we need to pray for him. That man is full of demons. The mayor of New York, De Blasio. Andrew Cuomo is even worse. He's the worst murderer that has ever passed as a governor throughout New York. Okay, it wasn't enough for 9/11. I mean, this man is possessed, and he killed a lot of old people. He killed a lot of people, period. Killed a lot of seniors. But going back to De Blasio for 1 minute, this man is so evil that don't tell me he's playing dumb. He cannot be that dumb when the people that one of the co-founders of Black Lives Matter clearly say they are trained Marxists. Does he think that this is another conspiracy theories, ladies and gentlemen? So you go around and you see little houses and you see businesses with sign Black Lives Matter. Ladies and gentlemen, well, I just read to you what happened. And for this cause, God shall send them strong delusion that they should believe a lie. You want to believe that? You want to believe a lie? Go ahead. Marxism has cost the life of millions and millions of people throughout its history. And yet these people believe in it. And they claim to be believers of God too. They push the God concept. Of course, yeah, the God, the devil. That is their God. Let us go, and speaking of the devil, let us go to Revelation. Revelation chapter 12. Revelation 12, verse 9. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil, and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. The angels were once called the sons of God. In chapter 6 in Genesis, remember? And when the devil came to God to hey, go against Job, and he would deny you in your face. God said, okay, let's go. And Job remained faithful to God in the devil's face. Mark. Let us go to Mark 8. Now I'm going to touch on a little bit about the mask. Mark 8. Mark 8, ladies and gentlemen. Mark 8, verse 34. And when he had called the people unto him, with his disciple also, he said unto them, whosoever will come after me, let him deny himself, and take up his cross and follow me. 35. For whosoever will save his life shall lose it. But whosoever shall lose his life for my sake and the gospel's, the same shall save it. 36. For what should it profit a man if he should gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Whosoever therefore shall be ashamed of me and my words in this adulterous and sinful generation, of him also shall the Son of Man be ashamed, when he cometh in the glory of his Father with the holy angels. So going back to verse 35. For whosoever will save his life shall lose it. But whosoever... Okay, so going back there, let's talk about the mask. Nobody wants to die. Right? Nobody wants to die. Everybody wants to live as many years as possible, as long as they can, right? But yet they're destroying it every day in the way they eat. They eat swine. They eat pig. They eat shrimp. They eat lobster. In fact, there's a restaurant out there called Red Lobster. Ladies and gentlemen, please. This whole world belongs to the devil. The symbols are everywhere, even in your news media. Do your research on Fox. Fox, which is supposed to be a conservative news outlet. Well, if you look at Fox, if you go by the value of the numbers, Fox, it is 666. I'm gonna leave that for you, ladies and gentlemen, to do your own research. Now let us go to 1 Corinthians. So people, nobody wants to die, right? People walking around with this mask, right? Because it's mandatory. And people are afraid. Well, what does government live off of? What are they living off of? Exploiting people's fears. Remember what I told you about exploiting people's emotions? These men are masters of exploiting people's fears. So, if you don't put on the mask, you're either going to get infected or you're going to infect others, okay? First Corinthians chapter 2. Hear me out. 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 14. But the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of God, for they are foolishness unto him. Neither can he know them, because they are spiritually discerned. 15. But he that is spiritual judgeth all things, yet he himself is judge of no man. Now let us go to the last verse. Proverbs Proverbs 14, verse 12. There is a way which seemeth right unto man, but the end thereof are the ways of death. Amen. So, once again, I'm here to, there are so many videos on so many subjects on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen, but yet no one is telling you the truth on both languages, English and Spanish, the way I do here. I'm giving it to you raw. I'm giving it you maybe you wasn't ready for this, but you need to shake yourself out of the movements that have been going around forever against God's people. We are the lost 12 tribes of Israel. Believe it or not. But yet, what are we doing? We out here. We're not waiting on our God. We want our $40 and a mule right now. Really? You want men to give you things, so you're selling your soul to man? You say you're falling into his traps? Don't you know? Don't you see that you are being set up? And just like religions, what has religions done for our people? And what has all these movements done for our people? Except enslave them even more. But the slavery that I'm talking about is slavery of the mind, mental slavery. I don't affiliate myself with no political parties. My party is in heaven. This is a battle of versus good and evil. Which side are you going to be on when the time comes? I will be praying for you all, ladies and gentlemen. May God bless you. And remember, I'm only here to give you the truth. And nothing but the truth. Okay? I'm not here to ask anything of you. Why? Because I love you all. And I want you, to know your history. Because a man who does not know his history is subject to deceit. And the devil is having a party now with God's people, with our people. He's talking about Black Lives Matter. Yeah, no justice, no peace. Are you kidding me? Well, and you want to defund the police, the laws. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, the police, there's some good police out there. But the police, in its inception, is, and always will be, an arm of the armed forces. And the police, and you can see it in their symbols, in their black and magic cars,